Bonjour, my name is Pierrick Boyer from Le Petit Gâteau. I am the executive pastry chef. Welcome to chefmasterclasses.com. Today I'm going to do almond coffee and chocolate tart with mascarpone cream. Right, we're going to start today with our crust for our tart, and I have the room temperature butter. I'm going to put the salt, then straight away the sugar. Then before I add any other ingredients, I will start with my hand and I'll mix everything. So you really need to use your hand, so that's the fun part. Oh, look at that, yes. Now the butter is perfect consistency for the butter. Sugar and salt are mixed together now. I'm adding the egg yolks. Oh, that's going to be very gooey. So what we need is to have the egg yolks totally combined with the mix. All right, next, the almond meal. All right. So that's going to really be a lot more difficult to mix because the mix will be a lot drier. Now the almond meal is combined. The last ingredients, the flour. Be very gentle, otherwise you're going to spread flour everywhere, which will be a little bit more difficult to clean. Now the dough is at the right consistency. I will place the dough in the glad wrap or cling wrap. All the dough is on the cling wrap. What we need to do is just to flatten the dough so that will cool down a lot faster in the fridge. Nice and square. Back in the fridge for maybe 20-30 minutes. The dough is ready. We don't need the chopping board anymore, and I will place a little bit of flour on the bench directly and place the dough. Right, that much flour, a little bit on top, a little bit flour on the rolling pin. Now gently press on the sweet dough. So I have a little bit too much dough, so I'm going to cut some away. I just need to cut a nice square so it's easier to flatten. Just going very well. I just flip it over so I can put some flour on both sides. So now I have the ring. I just make sure that I have enough dough to place the tart. With my knife, I'm just going to cut in circle motion all around so I don't have too much dough. Then that will be a lot easier to fold it through. All right, next I'm placing a little bit of butter, just a little bit, to place on my ring, my tart ring. You just need a very thin layer to have the dough sticking through it. That's all you need. Now I will place it on the tart ring. Very important, place a little bit more flour, then put it back in the middle. So like this, when you do your tart, that's not going to stick to the bench. That's very important. Otherwise, you have to redo it again from start. So it's very gentle. So now, what's important is pressing the dough in the corner of the tart. I'm going slightly all around the tart to have an even crust through the ring. Place the whole tart on the baking tray, because the longer you work your tart, the softer the dough will be. So that's very important to put it on the tray so it's a lot safer to move. Otherwise, the dough can just flip off the ring, and that's a little trick that's important. With your knife, you just have to scrape off the excess. Then as well, all the excess can be reused. So make sure to glad wrap all your dough when you're finished with the tart. So the tart is ready. We will do the almond cream. It's very easy. I use this recipe every day at work. It's so yummy and tasty. I just love it. We have some room temperature butter. We add the sugar. So for this one, we just need to combine the sugar and the butter together. By doing with my hands, with my warm fingers, it's actually gonna ease the process of mixing and combine the butter and the sugar together. So basically it takes less than a minute, how quick it is. Now this is combined, adding the whole eggs. You need a little spatula to mix the eggs. You just need to whip it up a little bit because the butter and the sugar is a little bit firmer and the egg's gonna loosen up everything. So now you have a little bit of lumps, but by adding the almond meal, everything will get smooth. You see how straight away the cream formed and it's nice and smooth. Last step, just putting the thickened cream. So now the almond cream is ready. We just pour it in the tart. How good is that? With a spoon, just flatten the almond cream all around. You need to preheat your oven at 180 degrees. All right, next step, doing the coffee chocolate ganache. Pour some whole milk in the pan. Very important is have some roasted coffee beans. Previously roasted them on a tray, 180 degrees for 10 minutes, really unleash the flavors. If you don't do that, you're not going to maximize the flavor of your coffee ganache. So I just placed the milk and the roasted coffee beans to a boil. Then I'm getting a chinois. Then I have the milk chocolate and the dark chocolate. Then when boiling, I will strain the milk and coffee beans over it. And that's it. Make sure we strain it well. So very important is not to use a whisk, because if you do so, you will incorporate hair into your ganache and you're not going to have a silky smooth consistency. Very important. So we use a spatula. All right, now the ganache is almost ready. I use some milk and dark chocolate just because I don't want it to be only dark, and we have a slightly more lighter color, and I think that's quite interesting. I just don't want to make it like everyone else. It's all combined and smooth. There's no more lumps of chocolate, and it's ready to be poured on the tart. Look at that. Luscious chocolate and coffee ganache. Just spread it nicely. Make sure that you do not overfill the ganache, otherwise you will have a little marks on the side. I can really smell the coffee flavor. That's really, really nice. Voila, the coffee ganache is on the tart. Now what you need is to cool it down a little bit, then we can cut a slice through it. All right, now we have our last recipe for the tart. I use a fresh vanilla beans that I'm going to cut in half. I will only use half for this recipe. I will scoop it into the mascarpone. Very easy. I press with my finger and I extract all the vanilla pods. That's all the flavoring. Gently stir it with the mascarpone. I really like as well the little bits, the little pods mixed through the mascarpone. Just whipped some cream that I'm pouring with the mascarpone. And now gently stir the two together. Now this is mixed. Put it to a little container. Scoop out the cream inside. Right, now the tart is ready. Just unmold the ring. Cut the tart in half. Look at that. A little quenelle with the mascarpone cream. What you need is a little bit of hot water and a nice curved spoon. Voila. Now my little trick, an extra garnish. I made some nice little chocolate swirl, which I will show you another day to do. Very fragile, but it's so lovely. I think it brings a lot of differences to your dessert. Pick the one you like. All right, we have a nice coffee, almond and chocolate tart with vanilla and mascarpone cream. Voila. Well, one of my favorite desserts, the coffee, chocolate, almond and mascarpone cream tart. And it's always a challenge to match with a beautiful wine. Stu, what do you think? Do you have something to propose for us?
I certainly do, and this one was actually a bit of a tricky one. Just as your dessert is unique and full flavoured and quite powerful, I actually had to find a wine that was actually equal in those attributes as well. So what I've got is this fantastic Dorian Estate Barossa Valley Zinfandel 2008. Zinfandel is a grape variety, a red grape variety, grown extensively in California and in America generally, but not grown a lot in Australia. But when it is grown to optimum ripeness, it makes these beautiful full-bodied, medium to full-bodied, opulent, rich reds. You've made an opulent, rich dessert, so it deserves something.
That would go very well.
Exactly right. Shall we have a look?
Absolutely.
Terrific.
Yes.
Great colour, just losing its vibrant red and moving to just a little bit of red brick colour because it's got 2.5 years bottle age on it. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Wow, indeed.
Yeah, amazing berry flavours.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for to actually match those dark blackberry overtones, you know, forest floor fruits.
Yeah.
Terrific. And you go, oh, that smells fantastic. Yeah. And it actually has an overtone of what your dessert smells like as well.
That will complement very, very well.
Very, very well. Let's taste it.
Very nice.
Nice and tingly little fruits. But it's got a nice little bite to it as well. And you need to have a little bit of a bite to it to actually cut through that heavy chocolate overtones in your dessert, which I think will be just fantastic. Is it sweet? No, it's not sweet. But you don't have to match a sweet dessert wine with a sweet dessert. It doesn't always work that way. You need to actually have, like I often say, the palate components balancing each other. And this has got the flavour profile to actually balance the flavour profile in Pierrick's dessert. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Cheers.